What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gamescast now, episode 89, topic 2. I'm Alex. This is our conversational gaming show, a show that airs every other week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, where I talk about random gaming topics. Now, in this Gamescast, in this channel in general, we tend to kind of fall on these niche categories that I really do like, these games that I really do like covering, and that I think I find a lot of success in covering and talking about, and also just games that are really, really interesting. I cover games like Harry Potter, games like the Batman Arkham games. You know, there's a lot of games that I really do like to talk about, even though we don't know next to nothing about them. And another one of those games is Skull and Bones. I've made a couple videos about Skull and Bones in the past. We actually did a Gamescast Now live stream episode where I talked about Skull and Bones, about the most recent delay, about, you know, the fact that it's not coming to E3. This game has a lot of problems. I want to talk about if Skull and Bones is in major trouble in today's topic, because, again, this is a game I really do care about, and this is a game that I feel like is going under such maintenance and such restructuring that it's hard to gauge what this game is actually going to be when it comes out, and also the question of when the heck is it even going to come out, right? This game was again marketed when it was first announced. This game was shown to be, you know, that Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the ship stuff, all the ship stuff, all the amazing stuff that that game had going for it. In my opinion, I really did not like Black Flag. The only thing I liked about that game was the ship combat. So finding out that there's this game that they're making that's basically everything about that and then more really interested me. But now we know the history, right, of Skull and Bones, and the fact that really for two E3s it took really the entire in-between period off, where we didn't hear next to anything about it. They came back last E3, they showed us stuff, and it was not, and I repeat, not what people had expected this game to be. It was, yes, it was the combat, but it looked very, very, very different. And it again went off the Ubisoft live service kind of idea of, we knew we could play it with friends in the beginning. That's something that they marketed to us very early on, that you can kind of build your fleet of ships and they can be your friends. And you go and you sail the high seas and you battle and all that stuff. That's fine. That's really cool. I enjoy that. We knew that that was going to happen. Does that kind of scream like the Division or like a For Honor kind of thing? Yeah, and I mean, that's basically all the Ubisoft games now, right, besides Assassin's Creed. But when we re-saw it, it just wasn't. We found out we can't go on land. We found out that we can't, except for like a very specific, like you have like a cove that you can go on, or like your own personal like office space. You can do that. You can't board ships, or it's like it's an animation. There was just a lot of stuff missing that people were like, you know, we need this kind of stuff. And I've always talked about on the channel, I've talked about for a while, I really, like a side project that I really always want somebody to make, some game developer out there to make, is a Pirates of the Caribbean RPG game. Now, not literally like Jack Sparrow and Pirates of the Caribbean, but I want a Pirates RPG game. Now, there was one in development and it got canceled. There was like an MMO that was out there and it got shut down. So it's gotten close, it's happened, and I feel like Skull and Bones was like the biggest chance. Really, Skull and Bones mixed with Sea of Thieves would be our best shot at getting like a Witcher style, Dragon Age style, whatever, Pirates RPG, you know, like a Harry Potter kind of thing. If we get that Harry Potter Magic Awakened, I want that, but for pirates. And it doesn't even need to be Pirates of the Caribbean. And Skull and Bones, to me, like when I'm watching it, or when you first see that first teaser trailer, right, and obviously it's all CG, but it looks so amazing, and like the potential's there. The Kraken shown at the end, so that we know there's going to be some supernatural elements to it. We know there's going to be like monsoons and different weather patterns. There's a lot there, right? And it's like, wow, this isn't an RPG, this isn't this isn't literally a Pirates RPG, but it's maybe as close as we're going to get for another 5 to 10 years. But then we actually saw it, and it's like, there's nothing here. There's really nothing to this game. And now, delay after delay. Remember, this game was supposed to come out, I believe, twice before this current time. It was supposed to come out in 2019, but it was also possible that it could have released last year. Just keeps getting pushed off. And why is that? Well, and we've talked about it again. We talked about it in the, we did again the live stream of Gamescast Now, where we talked about Skull and Bones delayed again. This game has to be going under some major restructure, because I truly believe internally at that Ubisoft studio, they are redoing most of this game. They're keeping maybe some of the fundamental aspects, obviously the ship stuff, maybe whatever engine they built for it, but the mechanics of ship fighting and the weather patterns, and again, all stuff like that. The customization, which again is fine. fine. Customize your ship, customize, have the different options of the cannons you want to fire, all that kind of stuff. That's totally cool, but at the same time, this game cannot come out and that's literally all there is to it. And in terms of the gameplay that we saw last year, it really seemed that bare. And I think that scared a lot of people and maybe scared Ubisoft, where it's like, hey, you guys have more, right? Like, you guys have been making this game and you obviously have more to show. And they're like, well, that's kind of all we had. Like, that's what we were hoping that this was going to be enough. And it's like, no, you need to go back and you need to add some stuff. There's a lot of key features that people kind of assumed would just be in this game that's not in this game, and you need to add it. I'm not saying make this game an Assassin's Creed game again. I'm not saying make this Assassin's Creed Black Flag 2, but you need to have something. Sword fighting, they can develop their own kind of thing. Maybe have like a Batman Arkham combat. Even Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, the Middle-earth games, they have that. And that's very, very popular combat system. I know they have their Assassin's Creed system, and being Ubisoft, maybe they can use that, but they need to come up with something, and they need to really fill this game out. And I do feel like, I guess is it in massive trouble? I think so. I do think so. But at the same time, can it be saved, and can they actually come through like on the other side and be okay? I think it's possible. I think that, yes, it kind of sucks now, and it's annoying because it just keeps getting delayed. It wasn't at Ubisoft C3, but they had said that they're going to be skipping it, probably because they just need to work on this game. They just need a really long time to work on this game. And delays are fine. Delays just give people more time to make a better product. All that stuff. That's totally cool with me. It's okay. But at the same time, I feel like this also was a game designed for the current generation of consoles, considering the fact that, again, it was supposed to come out both in 2018 and 2019. It was supposed to be out. And it was supposed to be out also in another couple months. I think they definitely assumed this could be a fall of 2018 or fall of 2019 game. Now we are not going to get it until, March of 2020 through March of 2021. That really puts it squarely on the next generation of consoles, because I don't see how you can have Skull and Bones come out in March. It could be ready for March, that's totally possible, but you also have to think Watch Dogs 3, Watch Dogs Legion, that comes out in March of 2020. Two big Ubisoft games. Ubisoft in general, they're pretty smart with separating their games. You're not going to really have that. You're not going to put a Skull and Bones directly next to Watch Dogs. Now, Watch Dogs isn't the behemoth that like Assassin's Creed is, or even The Division is, but you need to separate them a little bit. Then you also think of, well, when is the next Assassin's Creed game going to come out? Will that game make it to fall of 2020? I still think the answer is yes. I think we're going to get Assassin's Creed in the fall of 2020. Can they have two big games, Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed, within the same calendar year? I think it's possible. I don't think that they're obviously not being made in the same studio anyway. But because they delayed Watch Dogs by like 4 months, is it possible that Assassin's Creed also gets delayed by 4 months? It's possible, but you have to think Watch Dogs, Skull and Bones, and Assassin's Creed. You have to figure out where they all place, and you can't put them very, very close to each other. And again, what's Skull and Bones designed for? Like, can Skull and Bones come out in June or like September and be only a last generation, like this generation, this current generation, this console? Can it do that? And then have Assassin's Creed come out a month and a half later on PS5 and Xbox Scarlett? You also have to think The Division 3 has got to be within 1 to 2 years away. I mean, I think The Division 3 will come out probably in another 2 years. And I really do think For Honor is being worked on, For Honor 2. I know they keep adding really, really big DLC packs, and basically like For Honor 1.25 and For Honor 1.5. They're really building on. They're having really big things to it. It's a big base of people that have that game, and it's sold extremely well. It's a really strong franchise for Ubisoft. You've got to think they're working on getting a second one out for the next generation of consoles. So you have to think For Honor 2 is in the making too. Skull and Bones just seems to kind of be like falling out of all of these plans by Ubisoft, because I feel like they thought that this game could have already been out. It could have been this cool side game, multiplayer, again, live service game, but you play it, you sail your ships with your friends, you sink other ships, all that stuff. That's really cool, and we'll work on maybe a Skull and Bones 2 for a couple years away. I feel like that's what Ubisoft wanted, but then it's like, well, it's kind of bare. It doesn't have a lot to it. People were expecting more from it. I don't know if this will sell. I don't think this will sell under its current shape. You guys need to add more. You guys need to make this better, and that's what's happening. So Is it in massive trouble? Again, yeah, I feel like it is kind of in massive trouble because you have to work on when is this game coming out. You have to structure it around Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed. I don't think Skull and Bones gets top priority in terms of releasing, especially compared to those other two. And you really got to make sure Skull and Bones nails it, because next time you show it, I feel like, one, it's assumed that it's just going to be radically different, and two, you have to make sure that when you re-show it, it has those features that people were expecting in the beginning. And you're not going to get a third opportunity at this to show Skull and Bones like again and say, oh, we're sorry for those last several times where we've messed up. Here's like the newest, they've already wasted that twice. And the first time it's kind of a wash because we just got, the announcement of the game. Second time though, or the second time we actually got to see the game, they made a lot of mistakes with it. So this is their third shot. This is the last shot they have at doing it. They don't really get another opportunity after this. So it's really interesting. It's, again, a game that I really, really want to be good. We had talked about, Tyler and I, a long, long time ago, back in 2017 when they announced this at E3. That was right after Pirates of the Caribbean 5, and we had a community series, and we still do, and we talked so much about Pirates that this was a thing like Tyler and I were going to double down on, and we were going to play it. We were going to play it with the community. We were going to do a lot of videos on it. We were super pumped for it, and it's still something I want to cover, and it's still something I want to be a part of and have this game be really, really big and really awesome. But it's taking longer than I expected. It's not exactly the game I thought it was, but either was Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, again, based on what I saw and then what I actually played, I did buy that game day one and played it. I was not impressed. I still think it's an awful game. It really, really let me down. I don't want Skull and Bones to do that as well. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think about Skull and Bones? What do you think about these delays? What do you think they're doing? And, when we see them again, what do you want to see in this game? Let me know. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And we cover games, again, quite often on this channel. And these Gamescast Now episodes especially, we talk a lot about games. So you guys are interested in that, make sure you stay tuned to the channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.